Do you ever suffer from fear, anxiety, playing gigs, releasing music, social media? I got some tips. Keep watching.
LOLO BX.
What's up? It's LOLO BX. On this episode of
Just the tip.
I got 5 tips on dealing with anxiety in music and in life. Now, I should preface this video by saying that I am in no way a trained professional. I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a doctor, or anything else.
Okay.
And anxiety can be a very serious issue, and if you think you need professional help, you should always go and get that and not base all of your actions on a YouTube video. But I will say, I believe anxiety is something that is experienced in different amounts by everybody, including myself. And even if someone does have a very serious case of something like anxiety, I believe a diagnosis is simply a tool and the first step to getting over these challenges and hurdles and reaching whatever goal that you want to reach in life. So rather than use it as an excuse and write yourself off with a fixed mindset by saying, I can't help it, that's just the way I am, I really believe it can be very dangerous to our overall happiness and our accomplishments as people. And I think it can really hold us back if we let things like this define who we are and what we're capable of. Some of us might need a little more help than others, and if that's the case, you should always go and get that for yourself and just know that you can overcome any obstacle that life has thrown in your path. That brings me to tip number 1. Everything you want in life is sitting just outside your comfort zone. We all hate change, we all hate challenges. We're programmed to avoid change, to take the path of least resistance. That's just how we are. The only human being that likes change is a baby with a dirty nappy. I stole that from somebody, I think that's Joe Dispenza. What I'm trying to say is no one likes it, but we have to leave our comfort zone if we want to achieve anything worth achieving, whether it be in our career, in music, our hobbies, relationships, whatever. It's worth noting that the more you step outside your comfort zone, the more your comfort zone expands. Just think back to things like driving a car. Me personally hated learning driving a car. I hated it so much. I wanted to give up so many times. Now it's just programmed into my subconscious. I do it every day. That's the same with everybody. We drive a car like it's nothing now because we stepped outside our comfort zone. We forced ourselves through it. We didn't enjoy the process, but now it's just like second nature. So you just have to realize that even if something feels like it's out of your reach, chances are any goal that you want to achieve, it's going to feel uncomfortable, and when you start on the journey, it's going to feel unnatural. That doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path or that you can't do something or that I hate this, so this mustn't be for me because I'm not enjoying this. It's not comfortable yet. If you really want the end result, just keep pushing through it. Over time, it will get easier and easier. Tip number 2 is focus on the present. This might sound a bit basic, but in my experience, I've found that all of my anxiety comes from overthinking and overwhelm, which generally comes from me thinking about the whole process all at once. So that might be something basic like flying across the country to play a gig. My brain naturally just starts racing over everything that's involved, like, oh my God, I've got to drive to the airport, I've got to find a park at the airport, I've got to park my car, I hope I don't miss my flight, I've got to find my gate, I've got to check in, and then I've got to fly all the way over the country, and I'm going to meet a promoter that I've never met before. I hope they're at the airport. What if they don't recognize me? What if they're not there? What do I do? Do I have to get an Uber? I have to go to a hotel? I've got to go to a venue that I've never even been to before? What if no one turns up? What if the crowd doesn't like my music? What if I hit the wrong button? Your mind's racing over all these things. They're usually all made up. They're usually all worst case scenarios, and you're stuck there in a ball of anxiety thinking, I don't want to play this gig, I wish I can stay home. But deep down you really do want to play the gig. You know it's going to benefit your career, that you're going to have fun doing it, and you know that you're going to be really grateful when the gig is over and you're on your way home, and you're going to be proud of yourself for having achieved it afterwards. The way to get over this is to focus on the present moment. Focus on today. What am I going to do? I've got this gig in a few weeks. All right, today I might just cruise SoundCloud, look for some new music to put into my playlist for the gig. That's all you need to worry about. There's no point thinking about the flight until you have to go and take the flight. There's no point thinking about who's going to show up to the club until you're at the club, and even then it's out of your control anyway. So just bring yourself back to the present as much as you can. This is why a lot of people, including myself, are advocates for meditation, because that's basically the whole concept of meditation. Letting go of all external thoughts, bringing yourself to the present moment, and it usually just starts by focusing on your breath. It feels really dumb to some people. Some people think they can't do it, which is just ridiculous. Anyone can sit there for 10 minutes and focus on their breath. What that does is just teaches you to drop any worry or thoughts about things that you don't even really need to be thinking about and just focus on where you are right now, and it just helps you get through it. Tip number 3, stop thinking and just do it. It's easier said than done, but it's a habit that you can practice over and over. You can start practicing today. When you find yourself stuck in analysis paralysis, sitting there thinking about all these things, it might even be going to the gym. You're like, okay, I want to go to the gym. Oh, but what am I going to do when I get there? I have to drive all the way there, but it's going to take me an hour and a half. I could be doing something. Just stop thinking. If you decide that you want to do something, just do it. Just take the first step. Get your gym clothes on and get in the car. The less you think about things, the less anxiety you're going to have. Anxiety is generally all in your head, comes from overthinking. So the logical thing to do is stop thinking so much and just start doing it. I know this step can be very hard to overcome depending on the degree of your anxiety, but it's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other and starting whatever it is that you want to do. Tip number 4. Once again, I'm no psychologist, but I do know that thoughts aren't real. They're just things in your head. You don't even have to listen to them. They're usually not even true. They're usually worst case scenarios playing over and over. It's just your body's natural defense mechanism because it doesn't want you to be in positions that you're uncomfortable in, and it doesn't want you to be in the unknown. So it runs these things over and over in your head, trying to stop you from doing it and trying to keep you on the couch watching Netflix because there's no danger there. But really, you know that there is a danger there, and there's a danger of regret. There's a danger of wasting weeks, months, years of your life doing something that you get nothing out of and that you're not proud of in the end. This is where meditation can come in again, because when you're focusing on the present and you're aware of the thoughts in your head, you're then in the position to analyze the thoughts, and you know that they're just things. They're just like traffic passing on a freeway. A thought is like a car driving past. You can choose to focus on it, you can choose to just let it go. Sometimes it's worth just telling yourself that thoughts are not real. You don't have to listen to the voice inside your head. Just practice telling yourself that thoughts aren't real, and it can be a lot easier to dismiss negative thoughts that lead to anxiety. Tip number 5, break it down. This is a sort of combination of all of the previous steps, and it's just a matter of breaking things down into tiny little bite-sized pieces that it's impossible to fail at. So for example, if you're breaking down playing an interstate gig, what do you have to worry about today? Like I said, today I'm just going to browse SoundCloud and find a few songs to put into a playlist. That's just step 1. What else are you going to do? Once you've got some songs, you're going to bring them into Rekordbox, analyze them, see how they play together. You might throw them onto a USB or however you practice if you want to have a bit of a practice mix in your room. When you break things down like this and you just focus on the present step, things are a lot easier and a lot less overwhelming. When it comes time to go to the airport, all you focus on is getting your bag, making sure you've got everything packed, putting it in the car, get in the car. That's another step done. Drive to the airport. That's another step. These things sound very basic, but if you can develop the habit of focusing on these things and these things only in the present moment, your life will be a lot easier, you'll be a lot less overwhelmed, and hopefully have a lot less anxiety. So that's it. I hope these helped. Like I said before, I think it can be a very dangerous trap to fall into, telling yourself that you have anxiety, therefore you can't do X, Y, Z. There are always ways to overcome any obstacle that's in your path, but like anything, any solution requires you to put in the work. You can't just watch 1,000 YouTube videos on dealing with anxiety and be suddenly cured. Just like you can't visit a doctor or psychiatrist and expect them to prescribe a pill that's going to magically fix the rest of your life. You can't be lazy about it. It comes to a point where you have to take responsibility for yourself, and you have to understand that you're going to have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations if you want to achieve certain things in life. It can be very dangerous watching video after video on dealing with things like this and think that you're making progress, but the reality is you have to implement everything that you're learning, and that's hard. It's going to take work, effort, and commitment, but you can do it. You can do whatever you want. I believe you can. You should believe you can. And that's about it from me. If you like this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel because I've got heaps more on the way. If you're super keen, hit the notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video. And if this video helped you at all, share it with a friend. Until next time, peace.